NBA History Channel is powered by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Welcome to a new edition of Showtime with Coop. Insightful BS with my Laker teammates and NBA legends. And we're on the precipice of a new NBA season. You know what that word means, Mike? Precipice?
Yeah, that means that you're preceding something, right?
Wow, from the Bahamas and smart.
No, that's not it. Precipice means you're on the edge, you knucklehead. I was testing to see if you knew it.
We're on the precipice of a new NBA season, and that's what we're going to talk about today. In the house is Mychal Thompson. And Mike, we're going to talk about the Lakers real quick because I know you got to go. I want to thank you for your time, man. First of all, let's start with JJ Redick. What do you think?
Precipice. I'd be more impressed if you could spell it, but let's forget about that. JJ Redick. You know, Coop, I like it. You remember you were a young player and there's some guy came on the scene out of nowhere, never had coaching experience before. What was his name again? Oh, yeah, Patrick Riley. You remember that guy?
Yeah, stop comparing this guy to Pat Riley. But go ahead.
Chance. You didn't know. Nobody knew. So maybe JJ, he's got the look. He's got that good. He's got those good looks that the ladies love. Let's start with that. He looks like he should belong in Hollywood coaching. So he's obviously a smart guy. Went to Duke, so you got to be smart to get into Duke. Played basketball at the highest level. One of the greatest shooters ever. So I like the fact that the Lakers hired a young, fresh mind like his to bring a whole new outlook, a whole new approach to the game. It worked with Golden State with Steve Kerr, so it could work here.
You know what? I like it too, MT. Also, I like what Rob and Jeannie has done, as well as Linda Rambis, is surround him with some veteran coaches, Nate McMillan and Scott Brooks. I think they'll definitely help him. You know what? You are right. He's a fresh mind, and he's not stuck in his ways because being a new head coach in the NBA, you'll be able to be a little bit more creative, let the offensive flow. My only problem with him is will he get the respect of not AD and LeBron, but those other players? And the only way you do that is when those other two guys make a mistake, you got to hold them accountable.
You know what, Coop? I mean, he is going to get the respect of LeBron and AD. That's all that really counts. And imagine if those other role players don't respect him. Get rid of. I mean, I know they will. I'm just saying that's kind of situation where you're a player like a role player. You're not a Hall of Famer like AD or LeBron, and you're not going to respect a guy like JJ Redick, then you just get rid of them. You have to worry about those kind of guys if they're not going to respect them. But I don't worry about that because I know they all know who JJ is. He sort of played almost in their era, so they're very familiar with him. And they've seen him on television. They've heard him talk about analyze basketball. So I have no problems, no concerns that everybody in that locker room is going to respect him because LeBron's going to respect him. And that's as long as guys like Kareem or Magic respected the coach, the rest of us, hey, we better go along with it.
Pat Riley would have traded you if you didn't respect him. He would have got rid of us. But hey, we were the foundations to the defense, me and you, MT.
No question about it. But Magic and Kareem set the tone. And if they said this is our guy, then you better go along with it.
Okay. Mike, if the Lakers had to start today, give us a Lakers starting lineup.
You mean other than the obvious two?
I'll give you mine. This is what I have.
Yeah, along with AD and LeBron. Along with AD and LeBron, I think in the backcourt you got D'Angelo and Austin Reeves, and then the third member up front is going to be Vanderbilt because they like his defense. They like his
light, man. You know, if that's what playing on a team with smart players like you, Mike, you were so smart on the court. You didn't have a lot. Well, you had a good talent, but you wasted it all up in Portland. But you know what? You were always your basketball IQ was smart. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, because Vanderbilt is in all 4 or 5 positions. So you need a guy like that who not going to be hungry for the ball, but who does all the little things, integral things that you need to win. And that's what he does. He's very disruptive on defense. And he'll give you 12 points as a bonus. So he's so versatile as a wing guy, being so long that you need him out there. So that'll be the starting 5. And that means the Lakers have got a deep, good bench.
And you know what, Mike? I'm going to give you another word. The Lakers have a plethora of players on the bench over there. Why you do that?
Yeah, you must have a dictionary next to you, like studying these 4 or 5 syllable words. Where'd you learn all this stuff? Not at New Mexico University, that's for sure.
Like, name some of the Laker players on the bench that's going to help. They just signed Max Christie to a nice little contract. Give me some other ones.
Well, obviously, Gabe Vincent hopefully will be healthy all year this year. He was a big loss last year. He's a very good player off the bench. We forgot about how good he was.
If you want to make a memory, you got to go to Game Time. All right. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you all the incredible deals and the great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of seats. You've got the super deal, and they make it easier to find the best price on great seats. And I think this is so cool is when you click on the ticket, right? You go to the app. If you want to go to a game in Boston, you want to go to a game in New York or Philadelphia, whatever, you go to the city and you click on the game you want to go to, and then they just show you a great easy to read layout of the stadium, and then you click on the seat you want, and then you get a view of the seat right from there. Boom, you know what you're buying, so you get seat views before you buy, and they have the lowest price guarantee toggling here with the Game Time app. Now this feature shows the total upfront, no surprise fees at checkout, so you know what you're dealing with. You don't click on the button after and you go, wait a minute, what's that extra $20 for? Also, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference for the lowest price guarantee. They have the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you up to 100% of the difference. So take the guesswork of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time.
From Miami a couple of years ago in the playoffs. So Gabe's going to help. Obviously, Rui Hachimura is one of the good players up front. Not going to be the two main guys to come off the bench first, I believe. And then you got a bunch like Max Christie should take another step this year. He's got his contract now, so he's going to feel like he's settled in, and I look for him to make a big step forward. And of course, you got
what about this kid?
You got Dalton Connect.
Yeah,
you got Dalton Connect, the number one pick. He's 22, 23 years of age. He can shoot, so he's ready-made to step in right away as a rookie, first-round pick to contribute. I mean, you don't have a guy who can shoot like that and waste him on the bench, so I expect him to be part of the rotation too.
You know what? I saw Kurt Rambis the other day at an event, and he was talking highly about that young man, that he could shoot the ball with a hand in his face, and that's what the Lakers need. The problem is these kids play 30, 35 games, then that fatigue set in. You hopefully that he can continue to shoot that way all season.
Fatigue? He's going to play 15 minutes a game. How's he going to be tired? He's 23 years of age. Did you ever get tired when you were 23, Coop? And you played 34 minutes a game, 35 minutes a game.
The pressure, the mental pressure that comes with those 15 minutes.
No. To carry the team. He's got such an easy job to fit in right away, to be comfortable. He doesn't have to worry about, I got to put the team on my shoulders. Like some rookies come into the league this year will have a larger role. All he's got to do is come in there and do what he does best, spot up and shoot. How hard can that be for 15, 16 minutes a game? Please, I can still do that at my age.
Tell me about this kid that they just signed, Christian Coloco.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's an active big man shot blocker. He doesn't give you much offensively. He's not a guy you can throw in the post like the old time centers and say, give me 15 points with your back to the basket. He's not that. He's an energy type center, the sort of prototypical 21st century center now with high screen and roll, plays above the rim, played at Toronto last year, played well against the Lakers, and we saw him last year, can defend the basket. So behind Anthony Davis or Jackson Hayes, I guess they'll alternate minutes, but he'll come in and run the floor well. He's very athletic and defend the basket and get some dunks. That's basically all you can expect from him.
Hey, you know what? When the Lakers won their last championship, they had Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and AD. Maybe he can add to that.
Yeah, basically that's all centers are required to do. Unless you're Jokic or Joel Embiid or Bam Adebayo, centers in this game today aren't required to carry the team. Just be contributing players. Unless you're a special guy like those guys, then you can just come in and run the floor, block a few shots, get a few dunks, and that's all is required of you these days. Playing center is the easiest job in the league now in the NBA.
You're listening to a new edition, viewers of Showtime with Cooper. We got Mychal Thompson on as our guest. You know what, Mike? I kind of compare you with one of the greatest that's ever called this game, Chick Hearn, and Chickism. Mychal, you're impressive. You are, and I know I'm pumping you up a little bit bigger than you are, but you got some good stuff behind you.
Well, thanks, man. Jeez, just me mentioning the same breath of Chick Hearn. I mean, that's like, say, Michael Cooper, you are the next Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. I mean, we all know what.
Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. They've got over 5 million active members. Look, it is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Now, unlike all the other apps, Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. That's it. Now, you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. And 1 Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks because it's gone when September ends. Now, here's an example of a player projection lineup. You could be going Tyreek Hill for more than 90 receiving yards or Dak Prescott for more than 263 passing yards. On the other end, Josh Allen for less than 240 passing yards and CeeDee Lamb for more than 96 receiving yards. You like those picks? So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
So I'm not the next Kobe Bryant.
One of the best compliments I've ever received there, Cooper. Yeah, my name and Chick Hearn almost mentioned at the same time. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what to do. You've made my week. I don't know what else to do now.
So, MT, we've talked about the Lakers. Well, there's one more piece we didn't talk about. Bronny James. And I know that's going to come up all year long. How do you see his action on the team? Will he be a true two-way player? I don't see that. I think he's going to be with the Lakers. But again, if he was a two-way player going down to the G League, getting some minutes, I think he's going to spend 90% of his time with the Lakers.
Yeah, I think he's going to go up and down between the G League and the Lakers. He'll be on the roster. He'd be like the 15th man on the team, which is fine. He's going to have to earn his way up. He'll play some minutes and some blowout games. Him and LeBron will be on the floor at the same time. You know, everybody wants to see that. First time in history, father, son on the court at the same time. We'll see it in the preseason, I'm sure. LeBron usually doesn't play in the preseason, but I guarantee our first preseason game in Palm Desert, we'll probably see Bronny out there with his dad. And that's going to make history. And the place is going to be, imagine all the media members are going to be there for that first preseason game, Coop, because we're witnessing history. It's going to be like the NBA playoffs are going on. Just in the first preseason game, there'll be so much media members that are covering that. And Bronny right now would be considered the Lakers' 15th man. And he's going to spend some time with the Lakers G League team and go up and down, and that's fine. And I compare him to, if you say, who would you compare him to now as a player? He reminds me of Gary Payton II up there in Golden State, that type of energy player. And I think he'll progress. We got to give the kid some time. He's going to be a good player.
I think he's going to be a great player. I mean, not as great as his dad, but after about 2 or 3 years when he figured it out. And I don't really feel he has his position down. Some people see him as a 1-2. I see him as a shooting guard, but he has the ability to be that one combo guard that can help later on down the road. I'm with you. I think he's going to be a good player.
He's a shorter version of Michael Cooper. You didn't have a position. You were like
he don't play no defense. How you talk about shorter version?
I'm talking about as far as position player. Were you a point guard, shooting guard, small forward? You just played on the wing. You guarded 3 or 4 guys. You didn't guard them many power forwards because power forwards back then played in the paint. But as far as small forward, point guard, shooting guard, you guarded them all. You played against them all. And that's how he's going to be. That's how it is in the NBA now. They don't really define guys like point guard, shooting guard. They're all wings now. It's all positionless.
Well, I think he's going to have to definitely shore up his defense a little bit because you're playing against some of the fastest players in this league, and he struggled a little bit in the summer league. Yeah. So, but I think Bronny's going to do extremely well. Moving along, Mike, again, we talked about the Lakers. Now let's talk a little bit about the Western Conference. It is so loaded this year that it's going to be difficult for the Lakers to crack that top 7 or 8. What do you think?
Lakers will be in the top 8, but you're right, it's going to be tough. The top 3 teams in no particular order are Dallas, Oklahoma, and Minnesota. If everybody's healthy, those are the top 3 right now. Then you got Denver, who I think will take a step back because they lost Caldwell Pope and Reggie Jackson, two important guys to their rotation. Obviously, the Lakers, Memphis is going to be back. They're going to be healthy, and John Morant's coming back. So that's going to be a factor. Phoenix, you can't give up on them guys with those 3, the big 3. 72 games, and AD can stay healthy for 77 to 78. they have to play those many games for the Lakers to be in the top 8. If those guys obviously get seriously hurt, then the Lakers forget about that. But the Lakers should be in the top 8 somewhere. And that's all you got to do is get your foot at the party, get your foot in the door, and anything can happen.
What about the Clippers?
No, I think the Clippers going to take a step back. I think they will be a playoff contender, but they'll be in the 7, 8, 9, 10 range. Losing Paul George was huge for them.
What about the Warriors and the Kings?
Warriors I see as a play-in team. Losing Klay, they've got young guys that are trying to fit in. They still have Steph and Draymond, but I see them more as a play-in team. And you're right, I forgot about the Sacramento Kings. They will be in the top 8 somewhere because they're that good. But the Warriors and Clippers, I think, are going to be struggling for 9, 10 for the play-in level.
You just mentioned something, MT, and I know it's a soft spot for you right now. Lakers during the free agency. Now, if I had a son and he was as dynamic of a player as Klay Thompson, you wouldn't want him to play with the Los Angeles Lakers. You didn't really. I mean, our kids are going to do what they want to do. Klay Thompson becomes a free agent. Why couldn't you get him to LA?
I thought it was a done deal. When we were talking about it, we used to talk about it in the past when he was with the Warriors and during their heyday. We would say, "Boy, you're in the perfect place here in Golden State." But I guess if you couldn't play for these guys, wouldn't it be great to play for the Lakers, the team that you grew up idolizing and rooting for because he was a Kobe guy? And we used to talk about the scenario where if he couldn't be a Warrior, he would be a Laker. He would love to be at home. He grew up kind of. We talked about it seriously for those couple of weeks during the free agency period. We were talking about discussing it seriously, and he was thinking about it very seriously. But for some reason, he decided, you know what, I'm going to go to Dallas. He said he wanted to change the scenery. He liked their roster, even though he likes the Laker roster too. But he likes the youth of Luka and Kyrie, and the youth of Derek Lively and Derek, the other center. What's his name? Derek. I forget his name right now. But he likes their big guys, now big and athletic they are. And he thought that Dallas was closer to a championship than the Lakers are. And he's probably right about that, since Dallas was in the finals last year and should be better and a deeper team this year with the additions that they've added there.
Well, I say this facetiously, is that you're a bad dad. If you couldn't get him to come to the Lakers, shame on you, Mychal Thompson. And I know your wife, Jules, she would love to have her son closer to her. So I'm calling this one on you. Shame on you, MT.
Yeah, Klay's happy with his decision, but you're right. We were devastated when he chose Dallas over the Lakers because we really thought from the discussions we were having with him, he'll take his boat out to Catalina on days off and be here around his family more. He loves Southern California. He spends his off season down here. So yeah, I thought it was in the bag. But then Dallas and Kyrie and Luka recruited him, and he decided, okay, I want to go team up with those guys and have a chance to get back to the finals, which he has a good chance to do. But I told him he'd have a great chance here with the Lakers too. I said, playing with AD and LeBron, you'd have open shots all night. What can you do? These kids are their own. We were 34 at one time, Coop. We were our own men too.
Well, maybe he didn't want to hear you talk about him when he played bad or have a bad game or something like that. But you know what?
That's right.
We wish Klay well. You're listening to Showtime with Coop. We got Mychal Thompson on. Mike, last segment. Our segment is called BCS for you. Bench, cut, or start. You got two columns, okay? Your first one, Clyde Drexler, Dominique Wilkins, James Worthy. Who do you bench? Who do you cut? Who do you start?
Oh, come on. I'm not cutting any of those guys. Again, cut.
You have to. That's the name of the game. You have to cut one of them.
All right. I'm going to cut Dominique, not because he deserves it, only because, and I love Dominique. Who doesn't love Neek? My goodness, the guy's a special player. I'm going to cut him because I didn't have a professional relationship with him. I didn't play with him. But obviously, I played with Clyde, played with James. So, gamers, 2 champions. I guess I got to start Big James because they didn't call him Big Game James for nothing.
So you got to start Big Game.
Yeah, and I'll have the bench Clyde. But Clyde will kill me if they put him on the bench. He'll say, because Clyde thought he was better than Michael Jordan. He still thinks to this day he's better than Michael Jordan. So I'll reluctantly have the bench Clyde, but you got to start Big James.
Okay. Our next one and last one for you, MT. Artis Gilmore, Bill Walton, Ralph Sampson.
Ooh, got his cut, Ralph.
Why?
So compared to those other 2 guys, I would start Bill Walton, arguably one of the top 5 centers in the history of this game, if he would have stayed healthy. The way he played the game, he was like Jokic, ahead of his time. So I'll start Walton and bench Artis. And Artis is another great, all 3 Hall of Famers, but Walton was special, man.
I think you side with your teammates up at Portland. And that's the thing, Mike. You're supposed to be using your basketball IQ and picking the right players. But that's Mychal Thompson. He's going to bench Artis Gilmore, start Bill Walton, and cut Big Ralph Sampson, College Player of the Year. Number
Special
1 pick.
He was like Wembanyama before Wembanyama. That was 7'4" guy, was agile, could play all over the court. But Artis Gilmore was my teammate too for a couple of months in San Antonio. And Walton was never my teammate. He was on the team, but he was injured
for Portland. That's like your teammate.
He was hurt for 2 years. He never played with me. He was 2 years. He was still on the roster. He wasn't even in Portland. He was living in San Diego, recovering from foot injuries.
Mychal, thank you, sir, for your time. We appreciate it. It's a lovely Sunday. It's going to be warm here in LA today. I see you got, I was going to ask you this. I'm going to ask you on air. I want to go to the Bahamas. Can you fix that up for me?
Just let me know when. You're a legend down in the Bahamas, man. Michael Cooper's a household name in the Bahamas because you're a Laker. Now you're a Hall of Famer. Man, they'll roll out the red. They treat you like a visiting head of state when you land there.
But I want the discounts. I want a free hotel room. I want all the amenities that come with that.
Of course, you just drop you and you go down there. So I'm Michael Cooper, and they just roll out the red carpet for you. Everything's.
But if I say your name, will that get me some things?
No, I've left some bills pending down there, so don't mention me. So they might throw you in. They might throw you in jail and might try to make you pay my bills.
Mychal Thompson, thank you, sir. We appreciate you, man. Have a wonderful, wonderful day with your family, and we'll see you this upcoming Laker season.
You bet. See you guys later.
Okay.